So, we were talking about the reptilians acquiring their slaves. This would then move us into the abductions and the various stories around the world. It's easy to see how this wouldn't be widely accepted amongst the masses. Then again, the humans seem quite content to believe that a bearded man fits down chimneys at Christmas and distributes gifts. That most houses don't actually have chimneys nowadays seems to be overlooked. So, non-existent chimneys, in fact, or maybe interdimensional chimneys that are bigger on the inside than the outside. They must have the same technology as Doctor Who's TARDIS.
Is it my turn yet? Or shall I interview you instead? What with all your fine ideas and thought-provoking considerations? Yes, humans have been and are abducted to this day for the purposes as we spoke of hybrid creation and Orion race perpetuation. Generally, the subjects would not remember what had transpired, but a few of them did. Memories would seep back, flashbacks and dreams, and this is how the details of what was happening began to seep into the human experience. But the reptilians could always rely on the humans' ignorance and dismissal of anything beyond the narrow range of what is accepted as normal.
To be fair, their limited grasp on anything beyond the soccer games, what they've had for dinner, and the pressing urgency of taking selfies of what they have had for dinner is due to a great extent to their suppression and the subliminal control bombardment. But how is it so few did recollect what would be quite a traumatic and memorable event, I would say, if I had a lizard man burst into my room and drag me to the outer edges of the cosmos? I think there's the outside possibility I'd be inclined to remember that. I mean, were I human, I'd have at least taken a selfie with the reptilian abductor.
What makes you think there aren't a few selfies out there? not all reptilians are camera shy. But yes, the human females' stories, if they did remember, were greatly overlooked and dismissed. They would be inseminated, and as extreme and memorable an event like that would seem, they were made to forget it. The Orions have mighty intellects, extremely effective mind powers, so they simply installed powerful commands that ensured the subjects would not be able to access these encounters. Obviously, in a few cases, some unique subjects were able to draw upon these buried memories.
Well, perhaps the reptilians are not as vastly intellectually powerful as are suggested. If their memory suppressing techniques failed them on humans that they consider so inferior, and don't give me that look. I have a self-destruct button here that will level the building, and a built-in ejector seat that will catapult me from the wreckage. As you can see, I've considered every eventuality. You don't think I'd have a reptilian in the studio and not have a fallback contingency plan, do you? But do continue.
I'm sure it's a very fine plan. Might I suggest, however, that if you intend to be propelled to safety with the kind of chair you propose, that you ought have an open ceiling, or at least a space in it to propel through and beyond. As I say, I'm not of a scientific nature, but even I can see the drawbacks of propelling oneself at high velocity into a solid roof. As I was saying, the human females would carry the baby for an 8-week duration. Then the reptilians would return to collect it.
One moment, I'm just writing a few notes. This interview has been most enlightening, thought-provoking, and eye-widening. Things that never had occurred to me up until this moment must be recorded for prosperity. Let's see, just getting this down. So, remember to reconstruct the building to have an open-aired section to allow escape from. or maybe an underground escape tunnel where a slide appears under my chair and I can descend down to it. A little like a secret bat cave, or a cat cave, in fact. Maybe have cyanide cat biscuits if things get a bit hairy, or a fluoride-filled biscuit is just as effective. And I must investigate these interdimensionally transcendental TARDIS-like chimneys.